Uh, Hi, this is going to be part 4 of Sunan Abu Dawud 22150 in the spotlight again. And this is part 4, as I said. And sorry, I might be ignoring you because I've noticed that when I'm using this camera to record for YouTube, it usually doesn't. It has a tendency to not record a lot, so I end up wasting my time. And so I'm going to be using this camera to bring my attention to the most. And I'll be putting it on It's a Mad World 2 YouTube site. So, anyway, here it goes here. Alright. Okay. I'm trying to keep my cool, but I am really getting offended. How come? What nonsense are you talking about? What is your question? I asked a lot of questions. Which question do you want me to ask you again? I am only trying to guess what you are saying. You mean asking? Read the whole surah, please. You mean surah 4? Why? Doesn't Sunan Abu Dawud 2:2150 and Sahih Muslim 8:34-33 only focus on the first part of Quran 4:24? Are you saying that if I read all of Quran 4, it would contradict the meaning of the first part of Quran 4:24 about being able to have sex with someone's wife if she's your slave, right hand possessed? Is that what you're saying? You claim that Islam allows slavery and adultery with slaves. And rape, thanks to Sunan Abu Dawud 2:2150's report of how Quran 4:24 was handed down that tells how the companions of Muhammad were able to have sex with the captured women in the presence of their husbands who were unbelievers or disbelievers, take your pick. This is very wrong and sick. It certainly is. How come you're still a Muslim? Reason 1. The verse says you can marry the captives of war. That seems to be code for rape. Because again, thanks to Sunan Abu Dawud 2:2150's part of how Quran 4:24 was handed down that tells how the companions of Muhammad were able to have sex with the captured women in the presence of their husbands who are disbelievers. It allows marriage, not concubinage. False. For again, there is Sunan Abu Dawud 2:2150's report of how Quran 4:24 was handed down that tells how the companions of Muhammad were able to have sex with the captured women in the presence of their husbands who were non-believers. Where is the word casual sex used? Aren't I the one who asks that? Why are you asking that? Well, will you answer it then? Why? Yeah. Where is the word casual sex? Aren't I the one who asks that question? Well, will you answer it then? Why do you make up things that don't exist in the verse? How is asking the question about Sunan Abu Dawud 2:2150's report of how Quran 4:24 was handed down that tells how the companions of Muhammad were reluctant to have sex with the captured women until it was handed down that they, in the presence of their husbands or disbelievers. Well, how is that making something up? Are you saying Sunan Abu 2:2150 and Quran 4:24, are you saying they don't exist? Are you saying they don't exist? If you read the whole Quran, you will understand better. Are you saying that if I read the whole Quran and Sunan Abu Dawud 2:2150's report of how Quran 4:24 was handed down that tells how the companions of Muhammad were reluctant, how they were able to have sex with the captured women in the presence of their husbands or disbelievers, are you saying there'll be a contradiction? You sure? Yeah. You obviously never read the whole Quran. Have you read the whole Bible? The Quran says it confirms and reminds to know why you should remain a Muslim. You are talking about Quran 4:24. Exactly. Maybe try reading the whole surah at least and see how it contradicts Sunan Abu Dawud 22050's report of how Quran 424 is handed down, and contradicts Muslim Muslim 8:34-33, and how it was handed down, how the companions of Muhammad were able to have sex with the captured married women in the presence of their husbands who are disbelievers. You sure I will see that contradiction if I read all of Surah 4? You sure? Quran 419, same surah, clearly draws the line and says you must get the acceptance of women for marriage. False. For there is Sunan Abu Dawud, 2150's report, and I hit him again with that thing, And you cannot force her into marriage. False. And I hit him again with that thing. In the presence of their husbands who are disbelievers. This applies to all marriages. What does that mean? You mean even gay marriage and marriage to animals? It does not say except, does it? False. Read the first part of Quran 424. Do you dare? Marriage in Islam is not just sex. So? It puts great responsibility on shoulders of men. If it puts great if he can have sex with women in the presence of their husbands who are disbelievers, I would say so. Pay attention to the expression of right hand. It does not say left hand. So it says right hand. So if you can rape a woman with your right hand, how does that make things any better with your left hand? You think what you said lessens the creep factor here? I think not. This clearly reflects the great concern Islam has for preserving the rights of those captives. If you can rape a woman, and it's considered right hand, how are things better with your left hand? As you know, the right hand has its special merit and privileged function that man instinctively reserved for it. Tell me about it. Slave does not mean the slave you understand. How do you get that with Sunan Abu Dawud 22150's report of how Quran 424 was handed down that tells how the companions of Muhammad were able to have sex with the captive married women in the presence of their husbands or disbelievers? How? I mean, where do you accept from her? Where do you see acceptance from her or her disbelieving husband? Right, where? It simply means ABD, which means slave. Got it. Meaning somebody working for you. False. For Abdullah means slave of Allah, not, quote, somebody working for you, Allah. For instance, Abdullah means a servant of Allah. Nice way of saying slave of Allah, I see. It is not a bad name at all. Well, with Sunan Abu Dawud 22150's report of how Quran 424 was handed down, that tells me how the companion hit him again with that thing. In the presence of their husbands who are disbelievers, I can see why. Also, the verse you are picking on does not say slaves, it says war captives. Does it make a difference when you have Sunan Abu Dawud 22150's report, and I hit him again, with it. In the presence of their husbands who were disbelievers. Yeah. Does it make any difference? I mean, really, does it make any difference? Show me a verse in Quran where it says you can start an offensive war for no reason, take the women captive, have sex with them, and get rid of them. Sure. Take Sunan Abu Dawud 22150's report of how Quran 424 was handed down that tells how the companions of Muhammad were able to have sex with the captive women in the presence of their husbands who were disbelievers, and mix it with Quran 65:4 that allows Muslim men to divorce a girl who hasn't even had a period yet. That's how. And it's very easy when you can say, I divorce you 3 times, This is what you argue. False. For you take Sunan Abu Dawud, and I hit him again with that thing, You are sick. False. For I didn't write Sunan Abu Dawud 22150's report of how Quran 424 was handed down that tells how the companions of Muhammad were able to have sex with the captured women in the presence of their husbands who are disbelievers. Nor did I write Quran 65:4 that allows Muslim men to divorce a girl who hasn't even had a period yet. In other words, you can be a little girl. Just by saying divorce you 3 times, divorce a little girl after you screwed her. You only understand what your heart desires. False. For again, I didn't write, and I hit him again with that same thing. Hey, again, Islam gives its rights even to captives. How do you get that when they're assuming? And I hit him again with that thing, Let's hit him again with it. It is the only religion in the world that gives the rights to captives. How do you get that when there is? I hit him again with that thing, Your right hand possessing equals people you deeply care about, shelter, support, and protect, and rape. For again, there is as for there I didn't for there again and rape. For again, I didn't write Sunan Abu Dawud 22050s, and I hit him again with that thing. This is what it means. False. I hit him again with that thing. Under your captivity, but your right hand possess, and I think we are starting to see what that means. You really need to understand the Quran and the cultural historical facts of the barbaric tribes pre-Islam. Oh. They must have really been monstrous if Sunan Abu Dawud 22150's report of how Quran 424 was handed down that tells how the companions of Muhammad were able to have sex, intercourse, with the captured women in the presence of their husbands who are disbelievers, and Quran 65:4 that allows Muslim men to divorce a girl who hasn't even had a period yet is okay. They must have really been horrible before Islam. My gosh. An example to you is Allah first said to not approach Salah praying when you are drunk. Does this mean that you can drink? Yes. And then another verse was revealed prohibiting alcohol. So, it is a gradual change. Oh, so Quran 424 is now obsolete and should be removed from the eternal Quran. Really? Quran took more than 20 years to be completely revealed. Some verses are principle-based, some are vague at first, but other verses make them clear because you cannot cherry-pick in Quran. How am I cherry-picking Quran 424 when there is Sunan Abu Dawud, and I hit him again with that thing? No verse can be separated from the whole book. I gotta hear them say that again. No verse could be separated from the whole book. How have you not just contradicted yourself? If you are arguing and slavery is somehow encouraged in Islam, adultery with slave women is allowed in Islam, you are only fooling yourself. False. For there is Sunan Abu Dawud. Yeah, hit him again with that thing, Do yourself a favor and read the Quran. Understand the historical fact, how verses are like the bricks of a house. How have I not done that? When they're Sunan Abu Dawud 22050 is a part of, and I hit them again with that thing, about in the presence of their husbands who are disbelievers. They complete and complement each other. Exactly. They complete and complement each other. Thanks for admitting that. I'm afraid if you have a disease in your heart, you will never be able to see what Quran really means. Thanks to Sunan Abu Dawud 22050's report of how 424 was handed down that tells how the companions of Muhammad were able to have sex with the captured women in the presence of their husbands who are disbelievers, and how Quran 65:4 that allows Muslim men to divorce a girl who hasn't even had a period yet. Hey, who has the disease in their heart here? Wow! Cherry picking, fabricating, and manipulating altogether at their best. Aren't you supposed to say worst? Show me a verse in the Quran that says you can have sex with captive women outside of marriage in the presence of their husbands. You have to go to the hadith for that. I take it you have suddenly changed from Sunni to Qurani and no longer have to believe in the hadith, true? Let's see, is this time to end it now? Oh yeah, it is.